Hello, and welcome back to the Misty Morrison podcast. I'm your host, Misty Morrison, and this is episode 67 of Was I in the Wrong? Here on the Misty Morrison podcast, we love to listen or read, we love to give advice, and help people look back on their situations with that 2020 vision to see how they could have handled the situation more gracefully. Before we get into our stories, our usual housekeeping, whether you are new or returning, thank you so much for being here. Please engage with the content online. It's all free. Please engage to help the channel grow. I am trying to build a dream. If you are listening on podcast, please leave a 5-star review if you liked it. Anywhere else, give it a like, a heart, a thumbs up, share it with a friend, subscribe for more, hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. And I missed one. Leave a comment. Comment with your thoughts on the stories down below. I love seeing what you guys think. But yeah, that's our housekeeping. So into our stories for the day. Story number 1 is coming to us from r/AITAH. AITAH for telling my boyfriend not to come over anymore if he doesn't move in with me. Throwaway account because I don't want my boyfriend finding this. Me, 19-year-old female, and my boyfriend, 19-year-old male, have been together for almost 2 years, 1 year, 10 months. For context, I moved into my 1-bedroom apartment about 6 months ago. I live alone, I pay all my bills alone, and buy my own groceries. Go you! My boyfriend comes over every single day. And I'm not just saying that, he's literally there every day. I get home from work, and by the time I'm out of the shower, he's at the apartment. I didn't really mind at first because I was excited he was seeing me every day. Because before that, he told me he didn't want to spend a lot of time with me, that it was overwhelming to him. So I was excited and happy he wanted to be with me. My love language is quality time. Well, fast forward, I've noticed an increase in my bills. Just last month, my utility bill increased by $70. Whether this was weather or him, I'm not actually sure. But he's been there even when I'm not there. He's taken showers, watched TV, I'm not a huge TV person, and he'll leave the lights on. Not to mention he uses the restroom all the time. Sometimes 3 times. So there's that, and then I'm running out of my groceries faster than I'd like. I buy groceries just enough for me every 2 weeks, my pay schedule. I buy a pack of Cokes, 12, and that should last me the entire month, as I don't drink a lot of soda. But what do you know? I'm running out in 2 weeks. Why? Well, an example of him drink all my sodas would be when we were watching TV, he ordered us a pizza, and while we were eating, he offered to grab me a drink, and I just told him to grab me a water, and he grabbed himself a soda, which I didn't mind since, like I said, I don't drink them often. He drinks the first soda, then he gets up to grab a second. He comes back to the table and drinks a second. I was visibly annoyed but didn't say anything. Okay, did he know you were annoyed? Because you say visibly, but he didn't say anything. Does it not show well? He then gets up again and walked to the fridge to grab a third? That's a lot of soda really quick. I quickly interrupted him and said, nope, no. If you are very thirsty, you can have a water. You are not drinking all the sodas I just bought. To which he responds, what are you, my mom? No, but I paid for those. And I responded, no, but I'm your girlfriend. And you didn't buy those. I did. When I want a soda, I want to be able to drink one. And he came to sit down. He was mad. I know this because he does the thing where he clenches his jaw and he doesn't speak to me for a while. After this, I had the realization that he really is just living here without sleeping here. He's eating and drinking all of my food and using my utilities. So I thought carefully of what I wanted to say, and I got the right wording together. When he came over the next day, I brought up the conversation of, why don't you just move in with me? And he just said, no, I don't want to. And I was like, what? Why? You basically live here without sleeping here. You're here every day and using all my things. I know I shouldn't have snapped like that, but that just completely threw me off. His reasoning started with, I want to finish school, which I would completely understand if he was in school. He's not. He missed the deadline to sign up for classes, so he's not enrolled right now, which I reminded him of. His next reason was, I don't want to live in an apartment, I want to live in a house. So I then said, we are 19. We aren't established and don't have money put back for a house. You have to be realistic. We can eventually get a house, but an apartment is a part of that step. And then he responded with, I just don't want to move out. I like having no responsibilities. This was finally the real answer. I told him since he didn't want to move out and help me, then he can't come over every day, and we'll have to hang out at his house more often. It's been a week since this conversation, and he's still coming over every day, and I don't know what to do. I love his company, but I can't afford it. I still can't really wrap my head around his answer, and I'm trying to respect it, but part of me wonders if it was someone else, would he want to live with them? Would he support them? Or does he just not see a future with me? I'm not sure what to do. Any advice is appreciated. Edit, I put it into paragraphs. I'm sorry, everyone. I didn't know how this worked. Well, I'm glad I didn't read it till it was in paragraphs. Everyone is asking about the key. When I made a copy of my key, he was with me and suggested he should have one for emergencies, so I made him a copy too. He also has no responsibilities. His mom pays for his car and gas and clothes. No wonder he doesn't want to move out. I'm taking everyone's comments into consideration, and it's opening my eyes a lot. I'm going to try to have the conversation again tonight, and I'll update when we talked. There is an update, but I'm going to go ahead and give my opinion on the post before we read the update. I feel like I already know which way the update is going to go. At least I know which way I hope it goes. You're 19. You've only been together for less than 2 years. Break up with him. You want more in a relationship. You're wanting to build a future with someone. You want to move in. You're thinking about like steps to put money back to get a house. You want a partner. You want someone who wants to support you, who wants to spend time with you, who wants to build this life with you. He just said that's not him. He just said he doesn't want to have responsibilities. You're not at the same level here. And women do mature faster than men. Biologically accurate fact. And you are ahead of him on your timeline. Like you're working, you're living independently, you want to do all the things. He doesn't. He still wants mommy to cook for him. He still wants mommy to buy his groceries. He's 19 and not even paying for his own car. He couldn't manage the deadline to enroll in classes himself. He's still a child. He's still enjoying being a child. He doesn't want to be where you're at. Normally I don't like to be quick to say, oh, just break up with him. But no, I think at this point you are wasting your time with him now that you got the answer, now that you know he doesn't want to live with you. He doesn't want to support you. He doesn't want to build a life with you. He doesn't want to be your partner. He wants to keep being a kid and not have to have responsibilities. You already have responsibilities and you're okay with it. You can cut your losses now and go on to find someone who does want to build a life with you, because it's not him. You told him, I literally can't afford for you to be here all day if you're not going to help. And there should be no reason why he can't help when he doesn't have any other financial obligations. You said, I can't afford for you to be here every single day. We're going to have to hang out at your house sometimes. And he couldn't respect that. He's acting like he didn't hear you. He's still continuing to come over every day. He's not respecting your boundaries and your budget. And that's important. So, yeah. You are not the asshole for saying, you can't come over every day anymore if you're not going to help. It's reasonable and it makes sense. You're right. Let's see now if you did break up with him. Because the original post was 20 days ago. Update. I'm not sure if I update here or what to do really. We talked. This also just happened, so I'm mentally drained. So I'm sorry if this update isn't the best. I took his key like many of you suggested. I told him until he learns to call me and ask if he can come over, then he cannot have the key. I also added with that, the key is only to be used for emergencies, and I don't feel like he should have it. He then agreed to this, also went on to explain that it feels like we are in two different mindsets. Me having an apartment, steady income, and responsibilities, and him living at home, no bills, etc. He then started to put the fault on me. saying it was too expensive and I shouldn't have moved out, but I didn't have a choice to move out. It was forced upon me. We argued back and forth about that for a while. He suggested me budget my money, but I literally don't spend anything other than what I need. I have an interview. What? I'll keep reading. I have an interview for a second job tomorrow, so I can start being able to afford the things I want. That's besides the point. It was dumb and felt like deflection on his end. I'm glad you understand. We fought back and forth some more, and then it eventually ended with me saying he's a child who isn't wanting to grow up right now, and I don't want that around me forever. I don't know if we're broken up or what is really happening. I assume I'll know more about that tomorrow. Thank you everyone for your support and kind words. It really means a lot and has helped me see things I couldn't see before. I'm glad I reached out on here. If you don't give him the option, don't question whether or not you're broken up. Tell him, we're broken up. You're a child. You still want to be a child. That's not where I'm at in life. You are being so responsible. You are willing to get a second job so you can afford more of the things you want. Not so you can afford him, so you can afford more of the things you want. And to try to say, oh, this is all your fault. Like we could have both been living at home rent free. That's not everyone's life, and that's not a choice that everyone gets. That's more of him being childish. I don't give him the choice. Tell him we are broken up. I'm going to find someone who is of the same mindset as me, who wants to grow up and live a life. Point blank, simple. But I'm glad you are seeing things more clearly now. Story number 2 is coming to us from r/AITAH. AITAH for placing my dog's bagged poop into neighbors' street-side trash cans while on our daily walk. Depends on why. What did they do to you first? I take my dog on a daily 3-mile loop around town every day. Many of my neighbors leave their trash cans next to the street 24/7, 365. My dog poops 1 to 4 times during our walk. I always bag it up and clip it to my backpack. Admittedly, I don't really want to be carrying up to 4 bags of poop on my person until I can trash them all once we get home. Instead, I've been placing the bagged and tied poop bags in my neighbor's street-side trash cans throughout the walk. My dog mostly poops at random, but does have a couple of favorite spots that he does his business at. Because of this, some trash cans get utilized more than others. While on our walk today, we came across one of our usual trash cans with a note taped to the side stating, "My trash can is not for your dog's bagged shit." I respected their wish and dropped off the bag of poop into a different trash can later in the walk. I found it odd that somebody would find my practice irritating enough to go to the trouble to tape a sign to their trash can. If I watched one of my neighbors pick up dog poop from my yard, I feel like I would happily let them drop it in my trash can for being decent enough to clean up after their dog. What do you all think? Am I out here terrorizing the town with my poop antics, or is this neighbor being a bit dramatic? I'm genuinely curious. No, it's you. You're the problem. It's you. Because did you really clean up after your dog if you still left the poop with them? It's not in their yard, they're not going to step on it, but now the next time they go, it doesn't matter if it's bagged up. Now the next time they go open their trash can to put their own trash in it, it's going to smell like your dog shit. No, you're wrong. If there were public trash cans available, then yes, absolutely discard the poop throughout your walk. But if there are no public trash cans, your neighbor's personal trash cans that they pay money for is not for your use. It's not. The right thing to do is pick up the poop from the yard or the street and then put it in your own trash can or a public trash can, your own trash can that you pay for, because it's your responsibility to clean up. It's not their problem to deal with. It's not their problem to smell. You literally pay for your trash can. You have a limited amount of space for trash that you can get rid of every week. I know with the trash company that I have, we pay a certain fee per month. They pick up the trash once a week, and we're allowed 10 kitchen-sized trash bags, like the 13-gallon ones, or 5 30-gallon bags. Or, some reasonable combination thereof. So what if they're limited to only what fits in their bin? And you just put 2 bags of poop in their trash can. It's not that significant, but I'm imagining, depending on the size of your dog, first of all, but I'm imagining like your 2 bags of dog poop could be equal to the size of a bag that I throw away with cat litter 3 times a week. Here's the problem. It's you. Take the shit home. Take it home. When I first read the title, AITA-style replacing my dog's bagged poop into a neighbor's street side trash cans while on our daily walk. From that, it sounded like maybe you were doing it deliberately because this neighbor had done something to you. Maybe their dog had pooped in your yard or something. Maybe this was revenge. But no, you're literally just being inconsiderate. And you think you're being considerate because you picked it up, but then you still left it to be someone else's problem. No. Well. I feel like we haven't had one that was wrong in a while, and that one was blatantly wrong. No questions asked. Story number 3 is coming to us from r/AIO. Relationships is taking over my freedom, AIO. I'm curious. Me, 30 male, and my girlfriend, 28 female, have been together for 7 months. No time at all. It's been very intense and hard. She suffers from BPD, and almost anything I do/say could be potentially triggering her, dragging the situation into a massive fight over very silly things, like saying that Angelina Jolie was my crush when I was 16. She would scream and get very angry. I'm almost not seeing my friends anymore because of her. I'm only able to see them when she's already busy with her friends. But I have to be home by midnight maximum or she will lose her mind. The other day, I told her that I wanted to go to my friend's barbecue for Easter and spend the day there, having food and drink from lunchtime to potentially 8 p.m. The fact that I could go there, drink, and potentially get a bit tipsy or drunk made her explode. She literally went into a mental breakdown because she says I will be cheating on her and waste time we could have had together. We see each other every week, 4 days a week or more. I have never cheated on her, and I've dedicated 95% of my life to her entirely. There's no reason to be thinking I'd cheat. I believe to be adult enough to be able to go to my friend's place and have drinks and food, and why not if it happens to get drunk as well? Who didn't do this? I'm not an alcoholic, never drink at home, and I don't get drunk ever. But for once, after so long, I really want to go and not think about too many silly restrictions. Am I being too inconsiderate trying to attend this barbecue? She's been so upset about it that she says her will to live is minimum and she won't even speak to me almost. Please let me know, what do you think? Thank you all. I think you need to get out. Get out while the getting's good. She says her will to live is minimum and she's not even speaking to you. Her will to live is not your responsibility. You are one person. One person in a relationship should never be their partner's everything. Like, you can't make someone completely happy. You can't do everything in the world for them. And she seems to be expecting that of you. You're 30 years old and she gave you a curfew? No. She lost her mind because of who your crush was half your lifetime ago? No. Let's see. She had a mental breakdown because you made plans for Easter because you want to see your friends. You can't see your friends unless she's already busy with her friends. You can't say, oh, I'm going to go hang out with my friends. Why don't you see if you can meet up with your girlfriends? No, that's not the option. She has to be busy for you to make your own plans. No. And, oh, you're going to go drink, so clearly you're going to cheat on her. That's a her problem. That is her insecurity talking. And I understand that you said she has BPD, she has a mental disorder. It doesn't sound like she's medicated for it. If she is, she needs to go back and see her doctor to redo her treatment plan because it is not working. Honestly, this doesn't sound like a safe situation for you to be in. At the very least, it is emotionally and mentally unsafe for you to be in this relationship. Just because you're here asking this question, it already looks like you are scared of her reactions. And you shouldn't be scared of the person that you're with. So, you're not overreacting. If anything, you're underreacting. And I think this is one of those situations you need to run from. Right, and especially for her to be this intense after just 7 months, it's too much. It's too much. This is not what you signed up for. This is not a mutually beneficial relationship. Leave. Leave this one. Ooh. Oh, okay. There is a comment. The first comment says, "Can I ask, does she take anything for her BPD? Or have therapy? Because this isn't normal. She shouldn't be treating you like your relationship is a prison. Nothing wrong with you going to that timeout. You've done all you can. You need to start being firm with her. This isn't healthy." There was only 2 single punctuations in all of that. And OP replied to that one and said she claims that there's nothing she could take because BPD doesn't have a cure. The only thing that she does is having a chat with her therapist sometimes, but to be fair, I've never seen her doing it. She says that could be okay attending the barbecue, but I'm not meant to drink and get drunk eventually. And immediately, I know that's wrong. There are treatments for BPD. Like there are treatments for most mental health disorders. So she's lying to you. Maybe she just doesn't want to take meds, but she's lying to you, saying that there's nothing she could take. And there is the next comment says, "I have BPD and I'm on antipsychotics for it. Obviously not a cure, but there's treatments for it. I take it every night as it tends to make you drowsy, but I can also take it when I'm spiraling or freaking out and it calms me down, so I can think properly." Good for you. OP replied, "Thank you for sharing this. I knew she just didn't want to work on things." Yeah, that's sad. The next comment says, "And this should be your deal breaker. She knows she has mental health problems and she doesn't want to work on herself. So she's perfectly okay with the status quo, controlling and manipulating you, isolating you from your friends, and having a social life. What do you see in her? You've only been together 7 months. It should not be this hard or this miserable. You should still be in the honeymoon phase of dating, not whatever bullshit this is." Exactly. And then the last comment I'll read is all part of this thread says, "BPD is often said to be incurable, but there are plenty of solutions as far as symptoms management and having a normal life. I'm not claiming everyone has the same symptoms and experience, but it is possible to manage. BPD can make things more difficult, but not impossible, and to use it as a crutch is abusive. It's not up to you to lose yourself to cater to her symptoms, nor are you a jerk for not wanting to put your life and wants to the side because she's not managing. You are both grown adults and have to take accountability for yourselves at the end of the day. There's a difference between healthy compromise and losing yourself." Yes. Yes to all of this. Okay, that was a good one. Okay. That is 3 stories for this week's episode of Was I in the Wrong? Thank you so much for being here for another episode of the Misty Morrison podcast. Remember, start each day with a grateful heart. Kindness changes everything, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.